With the failure of the top kill over the weekend and the start of hurricane season, hope is running out for a solution to the Gulf oil spill. Joining us this morning is Senator George LeMieux of Florida, member of the Commerce, Science and Transportation Committee and the Oceans, Atmosphere, Fisheries and Coast Guard Subcommittee. Senator, good to have you on the program. Good morning to you.
It's great to be with you.
Tough weekend, as we have been talking about all morning. And now there are all these crazy rumors, theories about just how bad this might get going into August if the relief well doesn't work. Can you talk us off the ledge, or at least tell us what you know?
Well, I can tell you I'm very concerned. I'm getting the same information that you are from the Coast Guard. You know, they've tried the top hat and the top kill, and now they're going to try this new containment dome. Today, as you know, marks the first day of hurricane season. We've, in Florida, been fortunate that the currents and winds have not blown the oil towards us, but it looks like that may change this week. And when a hurricane, if and when a hurricane comes through the Gulf of Mexico, we could be in a lot of trouble. So I'm very concerned about it. It's been 40 days. I think a lot of mistakes were made. We're learning now that there was a plan that NOAA had in place to bring fire retardant boom out there immediately if there were an oil spill and start it burning right away before the oil mixed with the water. That plan was not executed. That concerns me a lot. I want to see my president down here a lot more in the Gulf, not just coming down for a couple of photo ops. I want to see him managing the crisis.
Yeah, a lot of criticism that he spent the weekend in Chicago, and although he's made 2 trips, I think Politico's counting the number of days until he shows up on a boat in the Gulf.
Yeah, I saw that.
How much? You know, go ahead.
Look at Jeb Bush by comparison, if I can. You know, we had our hurricanes down here in 04 and 05. 9 or 10 hurricanes coming through Florida. Jeb Bush, I was working in the Attorney General's office at the time, was on the scene 12, 14 hours a day, managing the situation on the ground. It's not enough to get a briefing in the Oval Office. What you need to do is be on the ground, putting all these people together, pushing them for solutions, banging their heads together, making them get to a place where maybe they don't even think they can get to, but that's what leadership's all about.
Do you think this this curtailing of drilling that will happen at least for a few months is going to help, or is going to come back to haunt us?
Well, I think right now it's really beside the point. I mean, we're going to curtail drilling in places that we haven't drilled yet. We have got a problem with the well that's leaking right now. And look, I don't want us to do any more exploratory drilling till we know what went wrong here and make sure it doesn't happen again. But right now, every effort and every energy has to be on capping that well and then trying to prevent that oil from coming ashore. I want to see, you know, a huge plan here executed, led by the president, to make sure that that oil doesn't come ashore in Florida. We've got potentially 1,000 miles of coastline that could be impacted by this oil. And we're already in a tough economy down here in Florida with 12% unemployment. I don't need oil coming ashore here. You know, thankfully it hasn't yet, and thankfully our beaches are still pristine.
How likely do you think it is? We had some Florida tourism officials on the show last week talking about how, for now at least, beaches were clean and trying to encourage whatever tourism is already booked. When do you think that is at risk?
For your viewers is that they should be coming to Florida right now because they're incredible deals, because people have canceled because they don't know the facts. The facts are the beaches are still beautiful. But my concern is if we have to wait till August for these relief wells to be fully drilled, then we're going to be in a situation where there's going to be oil on our shores, and that could potentially be devastating.
And I know you're working on making sure the state gets its share of the money that's going to be paid to some of those coastal states. We appreciate the time, Senator. Thanks for joining us. Senator George LeMieux of Florida talking about the impact. A lot of talk about Louisiana, but as the winds kick up later this week, we'll be talking more about Mississippi,
Alabama,
yep,
and Florida beyond. All right, coming up.